So recently the season 4 teaser dropped as well as a patch note for that teaser, and I'm going to go over both of those things as well as other things such as Discord leaks and community streams and all the information leading up to season 4, as well as give my own speculation on what I think is coming to season 4. I will be starting with the season 4 teaser, so if you don't really want to watch that or want to look at something else that I'm talking about, I will have this video timestamped so you can kind of choose what you want to watch. But I will be going over a lot of things in this video, so if you haven't watched the teaser, here it is.
It's showtime!
So right at the beginning of the teaser, we get this shot of the cash box in a dark room blinking. Most people would probably say, yeah, that's nothing. That's not really anything. It doesn't really mean anything. However, after this, it goes immediately to the Hoto logos. And I think this is interesting because, like, in the lore video at the beginning, we are also told about this sun insurance. What happens when the sun goes out, and then you have, like, this visual of the sun going out, and everything becomes dark. This kind of leads me to believe that there might be something related to light in this new season. Maybe a blackout event, sort of similar to like alien invasion or like orbital lasers, but like the whole map becomes dark or something like that. And I think that would be pretty interesting. Maybe only inside the buildings there would be lights or something like that. And I think that would be pretty cool. And even in the patch notes, they say that once you've chosen your sponsor, duke it out in Fortune Stadium, which is the new map that features sectors dedicated to each generous sponsor. Slide through the halls of Hoto, browse the aisles of Isolt, and check to make sure the lights are on at Njimo's complex. And I think that's an interesting way they said that. They said, check to make sure the lights are on at Njimo's complex, which is, I think is interesting to say. Another thing referencing light, and maybe that's something about light is going to really change the game. And also, night vision goggle cosmetic. The next thing we're shown is a lot of imagery about the new map. I took a lot of time just sort of editing out all these stuff not related to the new map, and I kind of wanted to point out some of the things that I noticed about the new map. And the first thing that I noticed was the idea of sectors in this map. So in a lot of these screenshots of the video, we can see that there's a sector 3, sector 1, sector 5, sector 6. So there's a lot of sectors, but there's only 3 sponsors that make up the total of the map. So my theory is that there are 3 sectors dedicated for each sponsor. Sectors 1 through 3 are for Hoto, sectors 4 through 6 are for Isolt, and then the last 3 sectors, sectors 7 through 9, are for Njimo. And that's how I think the map is sort of set up. Based on these screenshots, I think that is correct because there's only one sort of scene for the Njimo part of the map, and there's not really any sector signs there. But in the rest of the map, we can kind of see that there is a Hoto Sector 3, Hoto Sector 1, and a Isolt Sector 5, and an Isolt Sector 6. So I think it's a pretty good theory that there are going to be 9 different sectors, and I'm guessing each of these sectors have their own sort of personality under their brand association as well. And probably the newest thing that we can also notice in this trailer is the new weapons. And we only really get to see one new weapon in play here, but it is very nice to see that they are adding new weapons. And it's speculated that the new weapons are going to be the dual Desert Eagles. I'm pretty confident that it's going to be a new weapon, and it's pretty much in the trailer here. And that weapon is going to be for the heavy. For the medium, it is speculated that they will get a DMR or a semi-auto rifle. And for the light, it's speculated that they're going to get a shotgun. And to give you an idea of what these guns might look like, I was able to find footage of the Desert Eagle in a Battlefield game. The devs of the finals are from Battlefield or were Battlefield developers. This Desert Eagle footage is from Level Cap Gaming. It looks pretty strong in Battlefield, but I doubt it's going to be as accurate or as strong in the finals with such high TTKs and such as that. And with the Deagle being on heavy, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a short range weapon because the devs don't want heavy to be a long range oppressor or anything like that, and that is kind of why they nerfed the Lewis gun so much as well as the MIM-60. For the medium, I was able to find footage of a marksman rifle or a DMR in Battlefield 4, and you can kind of see it here in this video by Jack Frags. I will have all the people that I reference here in my description, so if you're interested in looking more into this or that, feel free to look at that. I'm kind of going to assume that the DMR for the medium is going to be sort of a longer range alternative than the assault rifles that we have right now. The AKM, the FCAR, and the FAMAS are mainly sort of all in the same range wise, with the AKM probably being a more shorter option. I'm assuming this marksman rifle will sort of be more in range with the LH1 for the light and will be sort of a longer range option for the medium. And for the light shotgun, I was able to find this footage from Battlefield 3, and it does seem like a semi-auto shotgun. I'm interested to see how this shotgun plays out in the finals because the light already has a shotgun and it's a dual barrel. So this shotgun is definitely going to be probably more similar to the SA-12 on the heavy. I'm assuming this shotgun will sort of be a longer range shotgun option for the light that does less damage, but is sort of a more safe option in comparison to the dual barrel. I'm interested to see how they're going to balance the shotgun because shotguns are pretty meta right now in the current state of the finals. There are also a ton of cosmetics that are shown within the trailer, but I don't really want to go too deep into that because there are so many. And the last thing I want to talk about from the teaser is these sort of scenes with the players in a match with like these intricate backgrounds and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure what this is or not really sure what it is, but it seems like this is going to be the new animations for when you get into a game and the game is like loading up or stuff like that. And the reason why I say this is because like I'm pretty sure the footage is taken from a quick match or a quick cash game because there are 3 teams here and they're just sort of standing around in front of this sign or whatever. Probably just become the new intro when you first join the match. But that's all I really wanted to talk about regarding the teaser. So let's move on to the actual patch notes for the Season 4 teaser. Regarding the patch notes, they say they believe in TA, but they know that it was not quite a good fit for ranked play. When they say this, it sort of tells me that they're just sort of throwing away TA now because it seems like they were okay with how TA is, but they're just sort of accepting now that it's not really a ranked mode for the finals. That kind of tells me like, okay, they're not going to make any effort to try and make it more competitive or more fun, which is sort of a letdown for me. They also start to say that with Season 4, cash out is coming back to ranked and that there's going to be new elements that harken back to the original intentions of the finals, which is very vague. And they provide this graphic about all the things they're working on for Season 4, ranked cash out tournaments, new seasonal content. And you can see within this new seasonal content graphics, there's a watch, there's the Ospu's AK that was back in the open beta, kitchenware, throwing knives. There's a lot of different outfits. They say the new map, Fortune Stadium, which we've already sort of gone through, enhanced new World Tour. And you can see in that image that the World Tour will now go up to Diamond badge, meaning you probably get more multi-bucks if you reach diamond level, unless they're planning to change the reward system for that. They've also improved the tutorial for incoming players. And this next new thing is the new sponsor career, which is something they elaborate later. So keep in mind that Season 4 will be launching on September 26th. World Tour will be a separate thing from ranked cash out tournaments. So you will have the option to queue either World Tour or ranked cash out. World Tour probably being the more casual mode, while the ranked cash out is being the more competitive mode. And in the World Tour mode, you can expect new and exciting elements that change up the game from time to time. And they also do a small bit here talking about Terminal Attack, that you can still play Terminal Attack in the quick play menu, which suggests that it's not going to be a ranked mode anymore. It is just going to be one of those modes such as Power Shift, where you just sort of play to just play it. But there is going to be a leaderboard for it, and I'm not sure if this leaderboard will lead to a trophy in the practice range or anything like that, but they do say there's going to be a leaderboard for it. And then the next part of this, they talk about the sponsors for this season, or the Season 4, and there are 3 main ones here, and this is sort of part of the sponsor career thing they mentioned, and it's going to be a whole new set of cosmetics that you're going to be able to earn. But to earn them, you have to choose one of the sponsors that you're going to support, and you will get that sponsor's cosmetics. At least that is what seems to be implied here. And it does seem like you have to choose one of them and you can't switch mid-season. And they give sort of these images of the CEOs of the sponsors with a short description of what they're about, and as well as the new battle pass, as well as new set of circuits to feed your career, which means they're not really reducing the amount of content from last season. They're sort of just keeping the same thing from last season and adding the sponsor circuits. They are also adding the new weapons, alternative sites, which you can see here in the teaser. They had a site for the AK. I'm not sure what other sites they have in store, but that is very interesting to see. And new cosmetic features such as faces, facial hairs, and much more. This very last part of the patch note is very interesting. It says, now the lights are buzzing, another reference to lights. The crowds are loading in. Suggesting that the crowds also have to load into the game and such like that, because we are in a virtual space. And that concludes the patch notes part of the video. And now we're going to move on to the Discord leaks by Embark's own employees. Starting off with this first one, we have from Embark Rob, and this is sort of a look at another facial cosmetic for season 4 and sort of a behind the scenes look at how they're doing it. He makes sure that he's really zoomed in here so he doesn't really leak anything else. The next leak is dealing with sort of Kyoto and its new map variant called Autumn. And it looks pretty nice with some changes to the tree colors as well as how the ground looks. Embark Rob has also leaked a higher resolution picture for the silverware throwing knives, which will look something like this. And Embark Rob has also leaked a picture for holograms. This specific hologram is in the tutorial, and even in the new map there are also holograms. This one specifically looks like a helicopter in the sky. I'm not entirely sure what that really means, but there are also a lot of other holograms in the sky that I don't really have an explanation for. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be holograms for every map. So there's going to be a lot of different things to look at in the sky, most likely. We have Embark Rob asking any gamers for gaming in Season 4 soon, asking for a friend for real, for real. And someone responds, does gaming involve a 93R buff? And Oscar responds saying, there will be some balance patch, which I think is interesting that he says some balance patch, like it's not going to be a lot. The next one is someone's asking a question if nukes are coming back, because in the trailer there was a little small segment where like it looked like a nuke was used, but Oscar clears this up by saying we are not changing or bringing back the nuke/nuke situations, so you can rest easy knowing that the nuke thing is not coming back. If you've played in Season 1, you kind of know what I'm talking about, but basically what they're talking about is having like a C4 or explosive mines on a red barrel and just throwing it at an enemy and insta killing them. That was what we called a nuke in Season 1, but you can't really do that now because it kind of moves in a weird way when you throw it and stuff like that. So in this next question, this guy asks, I think Ospu should be more represented. And Embark Rob says, I see, but I honestly think you will like what is coming in Season 4 if you like Ospus that much, which kind of hints that in Season 4 there will be a lot of Ospus themed cosmetics and stuff like that. And this person says, knowing how much you like leaderboards, I wonder if there will be a sponsors leaderboard putting them against each other. So what this person is sort of saying is like, since we're choosing a sponsor out of Holto, Izol, and Injimo, the people that chose a specific sponsor might have to go against other people that chose different sponsors. And Rob says, hee hee, you will see. I kind of take that as a confirmation that there will be some sort of competition between the 3 sponsors or the people that chose those sponsors. And for the final leak, someone says, I can't wait for Deagle animation pack. And Embark Rob says, so many cool Deagle things, hinting that there will be some sort of Deagle thing coming in Season 4 probably, or maybe he's referring to a future season, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about Season 4. Probably a Deagle skin or something like that, but I'm not sure if this is really a confirmation for a Deagle animation pack though. And finally, we'll quickly cover the community streams, and a lot of the community streams is just saying the same stuff that's already been said before, but I think some of these, there are some clips that are a little bit interpretable. This first one, for example.
A little bit of music. What did we listen to?
It's some work in progress Season 4 music. Oh. The game show is back.
Oh! It's back. The game show is back.
The game show is back.
Is it bigger than ever?
It's bigger than ever. It's better than ever. It's grand. It's
juicy.
It's juicy.
It's so juicy.
It kind of gives us an idea of what Season 4 is, and it's about the game show being back and being bigger and better than ever. Yay! And then the second clip here,
I think this was just the rehearsal we needed before we head over to San Diego to TwitchCon to take the big stage and do some live casting and some live action gameplay on stage and online as we preview and we premiere Season 4 of the finals live at the event.
I think the second clip might highlight like a update to sort of the spectator system or something like that, because if Oscar and Dixie are going to be casting or doing any sort of thing like that at TwitchCon, I have a feeling that like the Season 4 spectating or private matches is going to be improved or is improved already. I think maybe they're going to be adding another spectator slot so there can be 2 spectators at the same time, which can really help the esports side in terms of broadcasting and stuff like that. So that basically concludes my video, and I tried to be as short and concise as possible, but if you feel like I left something important out, please let me know in the comments. And I really tried to get everything that I thought was important inside this video. So please let me know if I missed something, and maybe I will learn something. Maybe other people will learn something if you comment. And yeah, shout out to Flexcellence for making the thumbnail for this video. I think it was really great. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching.